I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all...
I'm coming. Here we go.
There we are. All right now. Oh, I missed this music. Oh, get in the groove with it, y'all. Get it. Go CannaShame. Go CannaShame. Go CannaShame. Go CannaShame. Go. Oh, wait, we done broke out the robot. What? that's the Uncle Earl.
And work with it. Let me go ahead and get myself together because I don't want to lose no food points with this one. You know how that go.
That's
you know.
All right. Like my dad used to say, everybody can sing. You just got to find that note. Everybody can dance. You got to find that beat. That's all.
But what the question was I on beat? Because you remember once upon a time, I don't know whether or not if the cannabis has allowed me to find the beat when it comes to dancing.
I think it has, though. I think it has. Yeah, yep, see? See, you want, yep, that's it. You want me?
All right. I just had to make sure. On the accident.
Oh my goodness. Hey.
Right.
I just want to say, hey, we're live. Welcome everyone to the CannaShame Podcast, the place where we explore the world of cannabis in all its facets. Please remember, this show discusses adult topics and is intended for mature audiences only. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the CannaShame Network on all social media platforms at CannaShame. How's everybody doing, y'all? It's 2024.
What? Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year to all the CannaShamers, the Stigma stompers out there.
Is it New Year's or New Year's? I've seen Happy New Year's.
It's New Year because it's New Year. I had somebody correct that a long time ago. It's New Year. It's only 1 year that changed. So in the new year. So yeah, it's Happy New Year. Gotcha. But you know, you're gonna see all on as opposed to say on the Facebook
and on the Instagram. Added S's to the end of things that don't have S's. I'm standing with that.
And with the auras and auras, because you know an aura is a thing. Aura is a thing.
Aura is the thing.
Aura.
Totally.
Yeah. Aura can be a letter. Aura can be just a filler word. Aura. And aura am aura. I'm just saying. So, but yeah.
Oh my goodness! So we're gonna have some grammar lessons going on here, but it's all right though. Wait, but you know what? They understand. They understand us. We have that special language that we have going on.
Somebody gonna understand it somewhere.
Somebody somewhere is going to translate it. Depending on whether you're from the South or the South
side
or the North.
Okay.
But shoot.
Yes. But I just want to find out what are you all doing for this year? What you got going on? What's coming up? You know, anybody have anything special they're doing this year for 2024?
I see her smiling. Come on.
Smiling.
Look like we're smiling.
That Kool-Aid grin going on. Do tell.
I'm just saying, because she was just mesmerized.
I don't have a secret or anything I'm busting out. I'm just, more happiness and joy in 2024. Just continuing to be the light everywhere I go. So, just keep doing that. And I'm sure y'all see me out and, and about and stuff. Y'all know how I do. Y'all know I'm out there
out there in them, out there. I ain't gonna say out there in them streets because proper etiquette would be I'm out there doing what I do. Make things do what it does.
That's
so
right.
I can make it make what it did.
That's
so
right.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm being who I am.
Yes,
right. I'm being who I am.
I am focusing totally more on just being in 2024. Just
we can
being, you know.
That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. So whatever y'all see me doing, you know, I'm gonna just be being. I'm gonna just be, you know, grounded in the existence of being. You know, that's it.
I'm going to go pull out my old coffee mug. I got a big coffee mug that say "Just be."
Just be.
Just be.
Just be.
Just be being. I'm just I like that. You know what? That's some good merch for you right there for your merch line, Arica. I'm just being. You know what I mean? So
there you go.
So that's coming soon to the CannaShame Network. Come on now.
That's right. That's right. Y'all get y'all pocketbooks and wallets together because y'all need to get to shopping and stuff. So be looking out.
Right.
More ways to support and wear your badge of stomping out. Oh no. Canning the shame. Angie, you said something at the beginning of the thing that I was like, oh, that's cute. I think you said stomping out the stigma. So
stomping out the stigma.
Yeah.
We canning in our CannaShamers.
CannaShamers.
Maybe we can get us some Canna Stompers out there so that we can go ahead and get us a Canna Stomp line. You know what I mean? I know I can't do it with my bad hip, my bad back, that kind of thing. Because, you know, sometimes walking bothers me. But I'm just saying, if we're able to, you know, get some nice young men's and women's so that we can actually, you know, get us a Canna Stomp line. You know what I mean? Canna Stompers. Let's go. You know, put on you know, maybe we can do a fundraiser. Oh my God. You know what? We'll talk about that thing later because you know how my mind process things and then everything just start beaming into my head and stuff. And I'm like, I just got to say it before I forget it. So I apologize.
It's recorded record of that now, so it's all good.
Oh yeah, we got that. Well, yeah, the Canna.
I don't record it. We can always go back and listen. What was that idea you had? Okay, it's the first part of the show. So
gotcha.
So we got it now.
What about y'all? What y'all got going 2024?
Yo, what's going on with you?
Well, you know, I had to write it down because you know sometimes my mind just go bloop 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 bloop. It's like I'm playing ping pong in my head. So hey, I'm trying to be more intentional this year so that I can stay focused, stay grounded, so that when I'm speaking to people, I'm able to continue. They're not in my head and they can't see the sentence I'm trying to form because, you know, sometimes my sentences are completed in my head, but once they come out my mouth, I'm like, okay, I'm on to the next sentence. I'm like, wait a minute, I'll keep flipping. So it's been a busy, intense season for me. The benefit of taking what I've learned in the past years in advocacy and applying it to intentional and changing the perspective of cannabis culture through proposed legislation and more. Plus, I'm working on some other projects outside of cannabis. Can you believe I actually had to find something else to do outside of my happy space, outside of advocacy? I'm actually, you know, working outside in the, I don't know, what do you call that? I'm working outside of cannabis. What do you call it? Because, I mean, in the cannabis sector. I mean, what do you call anyway? Yeah,
you're broadening your horizons.
So I don't keep that one set tunnel vision because, you know, cannabis is cool, cannabis is great. However, I need to have something to like you said, broaden my horizon because I really do. And I actually found some joy in, you know, watching some of these different streamers and stuff and learning some things. So just trying to get better with my skill. Oh yeah, and Yo Rants. I've been doing Yo Rants, you know.
Definitely talk about the Yo Rants. Because you have been doing some amazing stuff with Yo Rants. I saw your last show that you did with Chelsea, and that was amazing.
Gosh, she's
it was funny too. That was some parts it was funny.
she's hilarious, but I know we look forward to the coming season and hopefully we can bring better content, more consistent content all the way around with the CannaShame Network where we are directly, really and truly intentional on what we're doing because with the responsibility that somehow I see us having, is to make sure that we amplify, eradicating this stigma. Because regardless if cannabis is legal or not, then it's still, when cannabis is legal, it's still going to be a stigma. I mean, it's still a stigma with alcohol. And a lot of times, I know, like the point that Chelsea had brought up on the show was basically people have an issue with feeling good and feeling bad for feeling good. And we shouldn't feel bad for feeling good,
Yeah.
I mean, because even as a child, you're able to, think about the things we used to do. I mean, we get on there and spin around in a circle. Why do we spin around in a circle? I don't know. So, yeah.
It felt good.
Yeah.
It felt good being on that merry-go-round. We were laughing and having a good time. And so, that's one of the things that I took away from it too, when I heard her basically say that. And you think about that in this world that we live in, that, feeling good for some people, it's an issue. And then sometimes, you're feeling really good and people are looking at, what's wrong with her? Why is she always smiling? Why is she feeling good? Why not? Why not?
Or we don't think we deserve to feel good.
Ooh.
We don't think we earn the right or put in the success to
feel
enjoy.
Good. Yeah.
That's deep. That is so true. We all do feel that a lot of times that we're not deserving of a lot of different things.
I don't deserve to go on that trip because I didn't save this money. I don't deserve to have this type of situation because of the way I might have treated somebody. And I don't deserve to have success because I don't have this formal education. Or how many times do we say we don't deserve something because we think we lack something?
Yeah.
You know what Mama D said, right? You remember what Mama D said? I deserve. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I brought back that Mama D. Yeah, it's the truth. And she actually had she was real about that. I mean, we do deserve. We do deserve to be able to experience, feeling good without feeling guilty. How can we feel good without feeling guilty? Are we hurting anybody?
No,
I mean,
we're not.
If anything, we keeping the peace, because what does it do with the head? What's that in the head, Angela? I'm thinking about one of y'all. I can't think of the name of it. It's not the endorphins. What it does with
your dopamine?
Your dopamine. Yeah. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's just,
and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, which brings back to this plant needs to be free.
Yeah.
So that people can feel good, whatever purpose you want to use it for. I mean, even if you're using it for medicinal purposes, there's still a feel good. You're not in pain, so you're feeling good.
Yeah.
If it helps you with your anxiety, you're not stressed or anxious, so you're still feeling good. And there's nothing wrong with that, and I think that we're more productive when we feel good. So there's not a thing wrong with, so that's another part of this stigma. Let's get this plant so we can all feel good. No matter what reason you're using it for, we're gonna all feel good.
If they can have wind down Wednesdays and Taco Tuesdays, tacos make people feel good too. Like that.
And an infused taco would make you feel even better. I'm just saying.
Yeah, which leads us to the decriminalization.
No, so I was saying there's a lot of things, for me, for this year.
Sorry. I done jumped the gun.
That's my word.
Yeah. Gotcha. Huh? I'm sorry, it's Sagittarian. Balance. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Oh. Yeah, balance is my word for 2024. Being able to find balance in everything, every aspect from work, that work-life balance that a lot of us find kind of sort of doesn't exist to a point, because we've become so taught that we have to work. But that's really that's not normal. It really isn't. If you want to look at, what's normal and what's not, consistently just working all the time and not being able to enjoy anything, that's not normal. So that's my word for the year for me is balance. Being balanced, not even just balance with work. I'm talking balance in the body too.
Oh,
Balance.
Homeostasis.
Oh, yeah. Homeostasis, that's the word. And which brings me to what I'm doing this year too.
What you doing?
Kicking off in so more to come by the end of this month, the date that we're gonna officially start, but it's launching this month. My new podcast, Tea and Holistic Conversations. And Tea and Holistic Conversations After Dark. Now, so why After Dark got added? After Dark got added because one of the things too that we're talking about when it comes down to cannabis, that's over 21. So that's what the After Dark conversations are going to be, more of the cannabis related, more adult content when it comes down to holistic. But the other part of the show would be more family, everything. What you're looking at as far as herbs, trying to heal yourself naturally, looking at Reiki and all those different things, crystals, chakra, anything that we can utilize to have balance and homeostasis. That's that balance. But just healing ourselves holistically, and holistic means a whole lot of things, from food, all of that. So that's why there's two different show names. It's the same show. It's just that the adult content will be considered After Dark. So for those who are younger than 21, when you see After Dark in that title, that's not for you. Don't log in there.
That means you go to bed.
I mean, go to bed. Go lay down, as one of our friends would say.
That's that voodoo doll. Voodoo doll talking about go lay down. Yeah.
But also too, because of that too, because my I call her my sidekick, but my co-host Alon, and you all will be meeting her on the show. She's under 21, so that's of course I'm always when it comes down to parentals. Or respect the parentals. So being that she's going to be our co-host on the show, and she's really into herbs and doing things holistically, but I want to keep that cannabis section separate from what she and I are doing. So therefore create the After Dark portion of that, so it would not include anybody that's under 21. So that's another reason why I'm doing it that way as well, so we can keep it for because when I have some content that's out there for kids. And as well as adults. So that's what it is for me this year. Just balance in life-changing health, healing, finding all those ways to be able to do that holistically.
Yes.
Yeah. When you were saying that, I kept seeing tranquility. I see a lot of stuff. I just kept seeing tranquil waterfalls and stuff like that. I did say water. Y'all heard that countryness. I said that waterfall. But that waterfall.
Hey, but you know what? That's part of it too. Then when you think of this, I can't wait to showcase my new little waterfall I have too. So it's gonna be in my background. My little water feature. Look, they had to have in the Zen area. Oh yeah, I'm ready. and yes, just to come out, tea and holistic conversations. Tea is not just for the talking part of it. We will be drinking tea. So that's it too. So of course on the After Dark, my tea might just have a little bit of infusion in it, just a little bit. Just a little bit. But want to showcase different teas, because teas have medicinal purposes as well. So that's going to be, kind of bringing that in there. And of course, with tea and holistic conversations, of course, the letters are THC. So that's where the cannabis comes in, kind of a play on it. So just kind of bringing everything in. But enough about what I'm going to be doing this year. Just happy to have everybody back, and just kind of want to throw it in there too for our podcast this year. We're, every year we evolve. That's us. That's how we do. We evolve every year. Every year, I feel our podcast gets better and better with more content, bringing more to our audience, and definitely wanted to incorporate a number of things in this cannabis space. So we're going to focus on all aspects of cannabis. all aspects, not leaving anybody out. We're going to cover legislation, culture, education, and science. So, wherever you fit in this cannabis arena, we got you covered. Oh, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about this year that we have because we're going to be very intentional this year. And I know that's Yolanda mentioned that before, intentional. So that's definitely what we're going to be doing and being intentional about what we're doing now as we're growing as a podcast, growing as a team, and bringing more to our audience, that more information to our audience so that you can be aware of what's going on in the cannabis space, understanding all aspects of it, and being able to help us eradicate this stigma surrounding cannabis. So I'm looking forward to that. So moving on along, getting the show on the road here. Yo, what you got going on here when it comes down to legislation?
Oh, so yeah, basically today's show, we're just gonna run through quickly about the upcoming legislation I've been watching and stuff like that since pretty much for our podcast, I'm pretty much gonna be focused on like the laws and legislation portion so that we can bring more detailed and concise information to the show to add, more quality to our programming. So that's why we focus on that, like, Arica with culture and Angela with science. And I guess the only reason why I'm really focused on this, the legislation portion, is because with our nonprofit, we've been getting into, we found some glitches in the medical cannabis program here in Georgia. And so finding that, I started reaching out to legislators. I had a few meetings with some representatives so far, got some positive feedback. And like I said, the only way that we're going to be able to get some changes and stuff done here is to actually, put in some work and just finding out how can we put something together where nobody's going to get incarcerated. You know what I mean? Because like tomorrow, I'm jumping over here. So, but yeah, let me just talk about this right here. So we all know about cannabis. The FDA has already ruled that cannabis should be recommended, that cannabis should be scheduled to a Schedule 3. Okay. So we're waiting on the DEA and what the DEA says. However, they wouldn't have to go through this right now if Nixon had listened to Schaefer. If you recall, back in 1972, that was called the Schaefer Commission. And with the Schaefer Commission, that was a commission that was put together by a whole bunch of people. Well, it was put together so that they could do a study about cannabis. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but basically, if they had listened to Schaefer, the Schaefer Committee, then we wouldn't have to work through this now, but Nixon was so gung-ho to keep it scheduled, Schedule 1. And Schedule 1 is that heroin and LSD, marijuana. Now, marijuana, why should marijuana / cannabis be that way? If it's just like the legislators are not listening to science, except for when it works in their favor, pretty much. It's like, why would they automatically just side with science if it's going to affect the bottom line, affect their pockets kind of thing. So, but yeah, so that's what we have here. And here's what Schedule 3 drug is. That's just like, where's the list for the Schedule 3? It's codeine, hydrocodone, ketamine, anabolic steroids, and testosterone. So these right here, if cannabis, now this is the question to the gang right here. Now I asked Chelsea this on my show the other day. How do y'all feel if cannabis is scheduled to a Schedule 3 instead of a Schedule 1? How do you think it's going to affect the adult use market? I mean, Do you just like have a Tylenol cafe somewhere?
Well, I mean, I think it's going to implicate it a lot. So I wish they would just remove it off the schedule, period. I think that would just be the best option, right? I guess I look at it like, again, because the best purest form of cannabis is when it's just grown, cultivated, right? So right. So you can get like testosterone, right, in like GMC, right? Or you can get it at the gas station in those capsules and stuff like that, right? But I mean, I don't really know how safe and healthy it is. The athletes prefer to go get some black market testosterone. They don't go to GMC to get their testosterone. So I'm just like, I feel like keeping it, even making it a Schedule 3 is playing a game. It's a game. You know what I'm saying? And it's some sort of pseudo regulation you want to have over it, but all people got to do is treat it like a vitamin, and you're not going to focus on it because no vitamins are tested by the FDA or go through government testing or nothing like that. So that might be where they're trying to head. If they put it on a Schedule 3, they can manage it like a supplement, or something that you would get GMCS, because like something that you would get at GMCS, most of that stuff is not regulated by the FDA or any government process. So I think it's like, kind of a workaround cut through, but it's still shady business. Because, everything can be potentially dangerous to everybody. Sugar is dangerous to diabetics, but yet that is not on anybody's schedule. So it's dangerous. It could potentially be dangerous. Well, we know sugar is extremely dangerous, and ain't nobody put that on a schedule. So how about we swap those out? How about we swap out the sugar that we know for sure is killing people, and that we know for sure people can't take, right? Because it's truly dangerous. Let's swap that out for Schedule 3, and we just leave cannabis on the non-scheduled list like sugar.
Yeah, and peanuts and the rest of the stuff.
I was about to mention peanuts. You just took the words out of my mouth on that one, because you have people who have peanut allergies. So there's some people who can eat peanuts, some people can eat tree nuts, period. There's some people who are allergic to them, but they're not taking but they're not taking them off of the market. They're not putting a schedule on peanuts. Peanut butter is still out there, peanut candy, everything peanut is still out there. The only thing that they did, I would say, or in the world, I would say, is you probably can't get peanuts on a plane anymore. Bummer. But however, because they've gone to the pretzels and so forth because of people with the peanut allergies. And I can understand how that would work, but still to that premise, we're still saying that it's still available, so it still goes back to everything is not for everybody, but it should be available for the people who can use it, who want to use it, just like the peanut. If I don't have an allergy to it, I can go get my peanuts. You have an allergy, a peanut allergy, you're not going to go get peanuts. So like it should be the same thing. Same thing like sugar.
Because the big difference is sugar causes a studied psychological change in your brain. So the Schedule 3, what they said is it has the potential to cause psychological or abusive tendencies. You see what I'm saying? So people really, you don't have a psychological reaction off of peanuts. You know what I'm saying? Like in your mind, like your brain doesn't spike like that, like on a whole natural peanut, versus if you eat sugar, it can be addictive. You know what I'm saying? Like sugar is addictive. That is like a problem. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not just that too. Refined sugar.
That's the, you know what I'm saying? It's in everything. And they know it's addictive. They know you are going to have your mind responds with high doses of sugar like you're on cocaine, which is also a Schedule 2 drug.
is legal.
scheduled
It's
less
legal.
than cannabis, even though it's more addictive than what they typically think because they would put it on Schedule 3. But again, sugar and refined sugar, they have the same psychological potentially effects and can do damage to your body. Is treated as though it's the holy grail of food.
Yeah, and you're right when you say it's in everything. You go and look at your packagings in the store. You have to be mindful of how much sugar is actually in there, even though it may say it's low in fat. Take a look at that sugar content and see what's actually in there. And also, that's something that we don't look at. And how it's in everything, and they do it to make it what tastes good. But the effects of sugar. We know what it does to your body. We know what it does to people who are diabetics and also people who are not diabetics. We know it can be a cause of obesity. We understand that. We know that, but yet
tooth
we
decay.
still see, that, yes, most definitely. But it's still out there on the market, and on every grocery store shelf. It's there and it's in its form where you can just buy it by the bag, buy it by the box, however you want to get it. You go to Sam's, you can buy it by the big box.
What? You get like the stupid, crazy big thing of sugar. They like kill yourself.
It's like, and not just that. Think about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, they clean blood off of the blood off of the pavement, the asphalt, the highway. So what is it doing for our inside?
Battery acid.
You can put it on your battery and clean the green stuff around your clampers on the battery.
But that's legal. See, that's legal. They allow us to harm ourselves, which what is the whole big point? As far as conspiracy and stuff, I'm thinking that whoever is pulling the strings right now really wants us to go ahead and destroy ourselves. If we think about the Georgia Guidestones, oh man, I'm going to something else. But anyway, the Georgia Guidestones had been blown up last year. You know what I mean? And that basically spoke about the end of the world and the population shouldn't be over 800,000 or something like that. And I know the world's population now has got to be billions and billions and stuff like that. And so basically, the world's overpopulated. So now what? It's time to go ahead and pull those strings and go ahead and cut down the population and stuff. And also cannabis brings peace. Cannabis brings peace to so many. It's I do believe that that's the tree of life that they speak about in the Bible that we weren't supposed to eat of. I don't know, because I believe that some people may have altered the Bible anyway and some of the texts in it. So like I say, I'm not going to get into that just yet. But as far as cannabis, it brings peace because I find myself very peaceful in company that I don't too much care to be around. Or if it's around people with different beliefs, I'm able to maintain and be in the same room, and not just to say I'm dependent on it, but I just know that I'm getting what I need so I can balance out and have that homeostasis. And even with this cannabis from the dispensaries, it's missing something. I want the plant. Anyway,
No, but you're right. It's what we have to work with right now, especially in our state. That's because medicinal is all that we have in Georgia. Because of course, you have some areas that are decrim, but of course the state itself is not decriminalized. So that's what I think people need to recognize too. That's another subject, but because of that, all we have pretty much is what we can get from the dispensaries, and you can tell it's missing something. You're not getting, but you're not. I think you're not getting all the cannabinoids that you can get from that whole plant, and all of those cannabinoids do something. They do something. And I think the cannabinoids collectively together, they work together.
They do.
And we need them all. So we need the whole spectrum. We need the whole plant.
We need the whole plant.
So we are truly missing that,
Which
so it's
that
just
goes
like
along. I'm sorry. I was just going with a segue because that goes along with a proposed amendment to House Bill 324 that I've been talking with some legislators about, and hopefully we can gain some support from advocates so that we can go ahead and voice our opinion that the entire plant needs to be added to, you know, for cannabis patients, because we waited so long to get this dispensary open. Then now it's open, but we've titrated past a lot of what they offer there in the dispensary. You know, like you said, it's missing cannabinoids. And by the cannabinoids being missing, that means that's something that our body has become acclimated to. So that means that what? We're stuck. You know, we're stuck right now with what they're giving us, but the thing is we want more. So, but yeah, hopefully I can get some support.
And we should have more. We should, you know, and I'm really hoping that the bill that you're putting forward, that you can get people on board to support it, because it's really needed, because we going back to that word, we deserve more. We deserve to be able to have that whole plant, to be able to utilize all of its healing properties, all of it, and not just that piece that you want to give us, because, you know, I think that people should have the right to heal themselves the way that they choose to. That's that choice, you know, and you take, by this plant being illegal, you're taking that choice away from us to be able to heal ourselves the way that we would like to by using that whole plant. You know, there are different parts of that plant. And if you go back and listen to pieces of the Yo Ranch, you can hear Chelsea talk about some different parts of the plant that you can utilize. There are people who are using this plant, you know, taking the grinding it up and putting it in smoothies or what have you, and it's helping with their digestion. You know, it's helping people who aren't able to eat. You have people who have appetite issues, you know, and it actually helps them. So it's just one of those things that just definitely needs to be taken off, descheduled completely, and allowing us to be able to utilize it the way that we see fit to utilize it. As humans, we should have that right. And it shouldn't be left up to a pharmaceutical company to give us some type of synthetic version that does not have everything that we need. I mean, why do we need a synthetic version when we have an entire plant that we can grow?
Exactly.
You know, and there's multiple ways of being able to do that if we take a look at it. You know, you talk about home grow, you know, being able to grow that plant yourself. And for those who don't like to grow, there's some of us who don't have a green thumb. What's wrong with, just like you have community gardens, you know, why not have a place where people can actually go and have even if it's a greenhouse or a piece of land where you can have people who are experienced in growing. You purchase it, you know, you purchase that little spot. That's your stuff that's being grown. You know what's in the soil. You know what's going on with it. You may not be the one tending to it every day, but you can pay somebody to do that. Just like we buy our fruits and vegetables for farmers. Why couldn't we do that very same thing? You know, so there are multiple ways to be able to do it, you know, if you don't want to grow yourself. But I just think that there should be an option for us to be able to get the plant and not just be reliant on being able to get it from, you know, a dispensary. Not knocking the dispensaries at all, you know, but just want to be able to grow that plant myself, or be able to get that plant from a farmer so that I can do what I want to do with it. No.
What was it?
I'm knocking to the dispensaries a little bit.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. You're knocking just a little bit.
I'm trying to get my camera to confuse me. You know, that counterintuitive thing. I was trying to, and then I was like, oh, you know what? It's the wrong way. Then I was like, oh, my face. That was like a thing. I'm like trying to say, I blame the dispensaries a little bit, but I know they only trying to do what the state is allowing them to do. But
basically, yeah.
I also look at it like this, but it's still bittersweet, because you still have people incarcerated because of this plant. You got people that are locked up for life for this plant. You got people who are facing life for this plant. You got people who are locked up who shouldn't be locked up, while these companies are out here making billions and billions hand over fist. It don't make no sense. And I understand that some of these companies actually do give back and stuff like that. They do give back. Like I think I read somewhere where Curaleaf donates to the Last Prisoner Project, you know, what you say, 40 tons You know, they're out here advocating and stuff like that. But what about some of these other MSOs that pretty much are going to be able to corner the market? They'll be able to corner the market if it is a Schedule 3, because I'm thinking it may wipe out the traditional market somewhat, you know what I mean? Because it'll go back to 1937, because it's still going to cause people to be incarcerated. People are still going to get incarcerated for this plant. The traditional market is going to get wiped out. Then it's, you know, you got to go to the pharmacy to get your meds, or, you know, a specialized store that's approved to sell you your meds. So basically, they're going to dictate what we do and all this other stuff. But do they do that same type of thing for farmers market? I mean, I understand why you say, yeah, just remove it all together, and which they should, you know, but we already know they're not going to do it right now, because they got to figure a way to corner the market, to get the money, to make sure they squash the small man, and to keep their prisons running, prisons and sheriff's department running, you know. So,
but you know what? As you were talking about that Schedule 3, I just wanted to look up something, because I wanted to make sure that I was correct on what my thoughts were on this from what I remember about it. And what I just pulled up about this is what I thought, that Schedule 3 is considered pharmacist only medicine. Now, pharmacist only medicine, basically, we're talking about you can get this over the counter. You don't need a prescription. And now Arica mentioned, you know, you could just be able to go and get off the counter. But this is the thing that it got to me about that, is when we're talking about pharmacist only medicine that you get to go to a pharmacy to get, that does not help those who it derails the street market. Okay. It does. And when I say derailing the street market, it's more or less like it's opening this door. And I don't necessarily want to say street market, but how am I trying to put this? Pharmaceuticals. That's what I'm really trying to get at. It opens the door for pharmacies or pharmaceutical companies to make these products to put on the shelf. Okay. So when I say it kills the street market, it's going to take away from the farmers, those who are making that or growing the natural plant. Yeah. Those areas where people are able to, in the legal states, be able to go and get that plant, because those states to say that it's actually legal. Now, if they could keep their legal status, then of course there could be some areas in there, but you still are fighting against the pharmaceutical companies who have a heck of a lot more money. And to me, Schedule 3, even though we're looking at it from a medicinal side, where it would be available, you know, in a pharmacy to be able to get it that way, but I still think that I don't really think it's the best thing. I agree. Because of the door that it actually opens for the big pharma to come in and just take over the entire market, and it get to the point where, you know, my thoughts and concerns are what's going to be next. Okay, so we make it a Schedule 3. Okay, so now we're there. Then at that point, are they looking to change how other states are doing things today? Whether we have, you know, being able to use that whole plant in other states like California, Colorado, those places that are legal, where you can actually use that. Are they going to put it to a point where now you can only do this with pharmaceuticals? You can only do this over the counter, which keeps the money with them. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, my thoughts. You know, my thoughts can be all over the place with that. But I'm just thinking about, you know, just what's next on this. That's what my thoughts are. You know, I think it's still not going to give the people exactly what they need. It's just giving big pharma and other big companies more opportunity.
And closing out the average person, I believe. And closing out, you know, that's why I say, people say legalize. I say, yeah, legalize is cool. However, we'll still be back in the same position, because that'll cut out the traditional market. I say decriminalize, you know, just remove it altogether. Because if it's decriminalized, then that won't cut out our street market, it's you street or traditional market. We won't cut them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The traditional market, with the traditional market, those are the ones who have supported so many medical cannabis patients, you know, without a lot of people even realizing that. You know, the dispensaries aren't giving away free cannabis. The dispensaries ain't really giving away a whole lot of stuff, because we went to the dispensary and with BOGO, you know, if it wasn't for BOGO.
You know, consignment at the dispensary.
Yeah.
But you can get it on consignment with your people.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gotcha. I got you. Exactly.
Sometimes you don't got the $80 or the $60 or the $40.
That bartering, yeah.
Talk to your folks and be like, you know, I need my meds today, but I got you on Friday, and be like, and they be like, because I know you and I've been rocking with you, and you done put so much money in my pocket, and we didn't establish a relationship building. Go ahead and take care of you. But the dispensaries, they ain't gonna do that, and they ain't never gonna do that.
No,
because one is about the people and the other one is about capitalism. And when it comes to capitalism, it ain't never about the people on no level at no time. So I don't never expect people dealing in the business of extreme capitalism to care about what happens to the people. But the legacy market, they are here for the people, not just for the capitalism.
Yeah. I say a lot of them are, because, you know, you still got some folks that come over here in the legacy / traditional market, come over here and just say, hey, I'm just gonna make a whole bunch of money, you know, pocket that money and just, you know, just put, you know, going about my business, not actually putting any work or anything like that. It's just like, hey, it's a money grab. You know, some people who have cannabis events don't even consume. They're not even consumers. You know, it's a business type thing, you know, it's part of their business portfolio. So, you know, that's what I'm looking at. But as far as
that's a part of anything, though, if you think about it too. There are a number of things that are out there that people don't do, but they saw that it was a way that they can actually make money and be, you know, have a business and be able to make money, even though it's not something that they particularly do. So that's a lot in a lot of different industries that you have people who don't even smoke, but they're part of part of the fight. An industry with they're out there. They're out there making the cigarettes. You know, your big companies, Reynolds or whoever these folks are. Some of those folks are the big wigs up there may not even smoke themselves. Why? Because they know what it does, but they know that the people do, and they know that as long as the people still do, they're going to be able to make some money from it. So hey, but you know, so you know, looking at it from that aspect, you know, of it, but you know, like I said, my biggest concern is basically the big pharma and cutting out, you know, the little man, because even if anybody from the traditional markets decide that they want to, you know, have a business in this area, because of the fact that they may not have the money, they may not have all the resources, you know, they get cut out still. So that's the point for me, is just that, you know, there will not be that equity that we're looking for, because it's always going to be the powers that be, the ones that have the money are going to be the ones that control everything. So you know, descheduling to me is just not the way to go. It's something, yes, it is something, you know, but I don't want to rest on the something is better than nothing, you know, because even in that something, you know, you can still get, for lack of a better term, screwed, you know, in that something. So, you know, I still think that there should be a continuous fight still to deschedule it, you know, completely, and just let people do what they're going to do. I think we're all adult enough to know what we're going to do. And we can't even bring in talking about kids, you know, because that's what they want to bring in. A lot of times they want to talk about kids, and not that kids don't matter. Don't ever think I'm saying that. But what I'm saying is there comes a thing when it comes down to adult responsibility. And when you have certain products in your home and so forth, you are responsible for putting them up, just like you put your alcohol up. You know, keep them out the way, you know. And if it's something that's out there that should be, you know, for 21 and older, same thing. you know, but it's just the idea that, you know, we can't say that kids are going to get into it. Kids are going to get into what they want to get into. You know, you think about it. I mean, let's be clear, you know.
And what's safe for kids don't stop capitalism in the government for regulating stuff. Right. That's not a real excuse. They don't care about what's good for kids. Stop with the shenanigans and the lies. You don't care about what the kids. So that don't, you know, that's not even a real thing.
It really isn't. It's an excuse. And you're saying it's just an excuse, you know. But it's up to adults to make sure that your kids are safe. You keep things away, but it's not, you know, that's my thing, and you should put it off on that. But you shouldn't stop an entire industry just because of that, you know, that what you say, which is totally not true. You know, they're going to get into what they want to get into. You know, now I do agree. I will agree with the packaging part of it. I will agree with that piece. You know, if you're going to make something cannabis, don't make it look like a Snicker package, because, you know, that can, you know, but I agree with that.
That can fool adults too. You know what I mean? That could actually fool adults.
Fool an adult as well. But I mean, just like on your medications, you have the child-proof, you know, stuff. I mean, there's multiple ways you can do things, but I agree with you, Arica, on that. That's not stopping anything. Because if that was the case, then why is alcohol in the market too? Because to me,
why y'all selling Skittles? If y'all care about the kids.
Skittles.
Why can we buy Skittles in America and Doritos, and you can't buy that shit in other countries? That's what I'm saying. I feel like we have to stop talking about cannabis like it's something different other than this sick shit that they're putting in our food already. They're poisoning us, and they're allowing us to eat and drink poison. So we should start talking about cannabis in terms of it's better than hydroxyoxide that y'all sell Skittles to kids. I bet you THC is better for kids than that shit that's in Skittles.
McDonald's.
That sugar and the dye.
Y'all taking the McDonald's, them lines be Chick-fil-A. Don't think because they Jesus chicken that is healthy for you. Okay.
Zaxby's, all of it.
All of it. Y'all take y'all kids there every week, and then I'm supposed to really believe that y'all care about what y'all kids is putting in their body.
But here's another thing. How about this right here?
You care. I'm supposed to believe that you care about what you put in your kid's body. I don't believe.
But here's another thing right here. They don't care about kids, really and truly, in my opinion, because there are no seatbelts on buses. Make that make sense. School buses. Do they have seatbelts on school buses? No, they just go ahead. They just have this big tube with wheels going down the street. And y'all so concerned about kids, put seatbelts on the school bus. Make that make sense.
Protect the kids from school shootings. Y'all don't give a damn about these kids.
That part.
I mean, just that's some cherry picking caring. You know, just like cherry picking when it comes to patriotism. It's the same type of thing. All y'all want to do is cherry pick. That's what happens with religions too. It's like, okay, hey, with this particular denomination, I'm going to take this piece right here. And that's what we're going to focus on. I'm going to take this piece. You know, the Baptists, the Methodists and all that, they take whichever portion of the Bible they want to utilize, you know, what doctrine they want to base their church off of, you know. But that's the same thing. This cherry picking, we got to watch this cherry picking. You know, I mean, a lot of times people are getting hurt.
Yeah. Now I was saying swinging that back around to cannabis when we start talking about that, you're saying the whole cherry picking. So basically they're just utilizing that because they're trying to find anything that they can actually use to fit the narrative that they want to put out.
It's trigger. They're trying to do the trigger stuff. That's why now even you done started hearing where cannabis not for everybody. You know, some people is allergic. Like it's this whole new narrative. Like everybody can't use cannabis. It's like we've been known everybody can't use cannabis. That's not new knowledge. Nobody is even saying for everybody to use cannabis, but you're trying to fearmonger through pushing your own agenda, saying that, well, you know, they trying to say everybody should use cannabis and the kids and stuff.
No.
It's fearmongering to push their agenda. And you're saying things that ain't nobody even said, and you're lying to push your own agenda.
Yeah, for sure.
Because nobody ever said that it was that it was not, you know, that was not the push or the agenda of it, saying that, you know, trying to push it toward everybody. It's more or less for those who want to use it.
Don't smoke. If you don't want to use it, if you don't want to consume, don't consume. Nobody is saying consume
Nobody's forcing
in
you.
spite of your desire to consume. Nobody
Ain't
is
nobody
saying it.
forcing you. Ain't nobody
Nobody
forcing you
forcing
to
you.
do nothing that you don't want to do. This is America.
This is
You know what I
America.
mean? And as long as you ain't hurt nobody, cannabis ain't never killed nobody that I've seen. All the research that I've done,
Nah.
cannabis ain't never killed nobody. Cannabis may have caused someone maybe to relax so much where they may have fallen asleep and injured themselves, or accidents and stuff like that. But one thing that I can say that actually has killed somebody that is legal, that's alcohol. That's sugar.
Every day.
That's peanuts.
Mhm.
That's a whole lot of GMO stuff, probably.
Every day.
Air. Think about air, water. I'm sorry, I done said that loud. Air and water.
No, but you're
Look
right.
at the water in Michigan.
The water that we
You
drink.
know, the water.
Pesticides.
Yeah,
they was using. They didn't use the atom bomb leftover juice and didn't know what to do with it. So Roundup bought it and was like, you know what? We should put this on. We should kill the bugs.
Right.
The nuclear bomb leftover juice, because they was like, we got all this product.
Monsanto.
It's a lawsuit going on with Monsanto right now. Then you got the paraquat. Paraquat is my word, because that's what I base my idea off of what's in my weed. Because I found out about what Nixon did. Nixon was totally against cannabis. You know what I mean? Which I'm wondering. Usually, a lot of times when people are so dead set against something, I wonder what they were doing in their closet, because that's another thing that I've noticed too. A lot of people that are so dead set against, in my experience was, me being part of the alphabet. I don't know. I don't know the proper terminology right now, but growing up, I know that a lot of people were in the closet about coming out the closet, being gay, that kind of thing. But they talk down about it real bad, but then to find out years later that they are laid up, they married and everything else. That's what I feel about this cannabis thing. You got a lot of closet users. If these people would come out the closet and stop hiding behind the shame, and that's why we're here. We're canning the shame. We're trying to empower people enough to say, hey, look, I can come out. I can support cannabis. I can talk about how cannabis makes me feel, which goes back to people don't want to admit they like to feel good. You know what I mean? Sometimes even with the hemp products, with hemp, I know that a lot of people say, I don't use weed. I don't, they have such a stigma against cannabis, that type of thing. And it wasn't just because of the law. They have a stigma because it's cannabis. But no, I just use CBD. Okay, cool. Which makes me question myself. Am I still somewhat hiding behind the stigma in a sense when I keep saying, okay, yeah, I use medical cannabis instead of just, there's no such thing as medical cannabis. It's cannabis. You see what I'm saying? Am I shaming myself by specifying I'm using this for medicine? I'm using this. Am I shaming myself by trying to feel good too? I want to stop aching. I want to, have a good life, live my life abundantly. But I'm actually wondering, am I still subliminally shaming, CannaShame? Am I still CannaShaming by specifying cannabis is medical, which goes back to a statement that Arica said a while back. Whose business is it anyway? It ain't nobody business what I do. Ain't nobody business what you got on up under your clothes. Ain't none of that kind of stuff. Unless I let you know what I'm doing, that's your business. Well, if you happen to smell it on me, like Stanley talking about, you smell my terpenes, which goes to a poem that I wrote. Do my terpenes offend you?
Right. But I mean, but the thing about that is like, and that makes me think about that, because I've done the same thing, and I have to ask myself that very same question. Am I, a part of this stigma stomping or canning the shame journey, but continuously saying medical? And I think what it is that the stigma has been so strong, and we also are overly concerned about what other people are going to think and say. So I believe for me, that's a lot of where it comes from. Is you don't want to be ridiculed by saying, okay, I'm a cannabis user. Oh, you're a cannabis user? You say, oh, I'm a medical cannabis user because it sounds different. But when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, this cannabis plant has medicinal purposes for everybody. You know, it's just a medicinal plant, just like any other herb. There are medicinal properties to it. So why do we feel that we need to differentiate between whether it's medical cannabis or adult use or recreational, however you, because it's the same doggone plant.
Same plant.
The same plant. You know, so now that you said that, that's part of where I really feel for myself that I need to stop saying it as well. You know, because I think that that's placing even a further stigma on it. Not that I'm thinking about it. I just didn't think about it from that standpoint. That we are putting a further stigma on it by saying that it's medical cannabis.
And I'd be so quick at the doctor's office. Look at my cannabis card. I'm legit. See, I got my medical cannabis card. And it's like I'm trying to justify why the heck I'm using cannabis. Screw that. You know, I use cannabis because these pharmaceuticals right here destroyed my liver. Not my liver, but you know, was destroying my bones, my bones, my vital organs, because the steroids that I took years ago, you know, caused something that they're still trying to figure out what's going on with me. Hopefully they'll be able to diagnose what's going on with me, which is leaning towards Cushing syndrome, you know? So I know that I shouldn't have to keep saying cannabis is my medicine and this and that. Okay, yeah, it's cool. Cannabis is medicine. However, cannabis also is a relaxer for me. Cannabis also helps me with my anxiety. Cannabis also helps me with just coping with everyday life. You know, I know I don't know about the I know everything. People can get addicted to anything. Okay, people can get addicted to sugar, all that, like you spoke about earlier. It's just a fact. It just depends. I forgot the terminology for that as far as the addictive type behavior, some kind of addiction. I can't think of the name of it.
There are people who just have addictive behavior, period.
Okay.
And those are the ones that, you know, who could potentially be addicted, because not everybody has addictive behavior. You know, there are some people who have that and some people who don't. But still, regardless, it's just one of those things that, you know, we still shouldn't have to be in that point when we feel we have to cover ourselves because, you know, by saying it's medical, you know.
Yeah. So
all of it's
going to work on that. Go ahead.
I also want to just add to the, you know, full scope of the conversation in terms of that is that it's also can be smart because you know the legalities of your state. And so you know the language and the jargon to speak to keep yourself out of prison. So I think it's okay. I think, you know, knowing your intention, being able to have that conversation and explain what's happening is the best thing. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to be like, smoke hemp. This hemp.
Because it is hemp. It's hemp. Hemp is cannabis. Cannabis
and
is
it's not. So you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, so I also get that too. And we've also,
thank you for
depending on how long you've been in the game, you trained on that. You know how to do that. You know how to protect yourself and protect the people around you. So
thank you for bringing that out, Arica. That was a key point in that, because that's the one thing I know that I, you know, just speaking for myself, I definitely don't want to continue being a part of that stigma. Because I can say I have been throughout my life. I have been, because of what I was taught growing up, but that was the lack of knowledge from the people who taught it to me. They didn't know either. They only went by what was out there in the propaganda, what the world told you it was, but nobody really knew. And that information, the studies and all those things were hidden from us. It wasn't out there just readily available. And back then we didn't have Google. We couldn't go search for something. And they weren't just putting this information in the local library for you to go and find it. You know, so if you didn't know where to go to get the research that was out there, you just didn't have access to it. So you only had what you were told. And so we all have pretty much lived with that, you know, and have added to the stigma But that's something that I definitely don't want to do. But to your sentiment, what you're actually saying though, you're right in that. So I'm glad you did bring that up. That
I
even though
mess around and
using
mess up.
that medical term, utilizing that, knowing that that does give us a level of protection in a state where it is not legal and there's only a medical cannabis program. Having to continue to say that does keep you safe. So I do agree with that, and to see where, it just depends. Like I said, it just depends upon your situation. You got to know where you are and who you're talking to. That's it. Know your audience, who you talking to. So you sitting in California where it is legal, you can say, okay, yeah, I'm like, or what have you. Sitting up in DC, where it's legal, you can do what you do. But when you're in your home state and you know what it's all about, it's okay. So thank you for bringing that out, because that said, I definitely did not want to continue to be placing shame on this plant but I can see it from two sides now.
You see how gung ho I was ready to go. I'm like, man, screw this. That's that revolutionary in me. Like, nah, let's screw this. No, I like the weed. I like the weed. Weed is for me. I love the weed. The weed make me feel good and it heals my bones. I do believe that it made me a more rounded type person. It made me see things differently, and it was a key to opening up a broader spectrum for me as far as looking at things besides what I thought it should be. You know what I mean? Like, I have an idea of what I think advocacy should be. However, after talking with you ladies, y'all gave me another perspective. I'm thinking it's one thing, but there's other ways to advocate. I guess it's just my tunnel vision, and it's like, look, people do what they can when they can, or how they can, or how they know how. But the only way that we're able to do is just to try to share information with them, educate them as much as what we can, hopefully they're able to follow our show, hopefully they're able to follow our show along. Cause like I say, we're still, trying to make sure that we cover all avenues here. We want to make sure that we're able to bring some good information, viable information that, we'll be able to, utilize and help somebody else out there, But
the one thing too, I say we definitely want to bring this information in a way that people can receive it, where it's not, because I know for me, science and education, that's my thing, that's my baby, that's my area. But I want to make sure that there are people out there who are not lovers of science, but the information that you can bring is rewarding to them in some way. Because first of all, you're going to begin to understand more about this plant, understand more how it works, and so forth. But what I don't want it to be, for me, I want to definitely find ways where I can make it fun and inviting, and something that people can actually latch onto and remember, and not just say, okay, I feel like I'm in another science class, I'm not in school anymore. So that's why I definitely want to make sure that any information that I bring from that science and education, part of it is something that people can enjoy and learn something from it in a fun way, keeping it, where they can understand it and not using all these big medical terms or whatever like that. Just because the term is there doesn't mean you have to use it. There's other ways around it, because you want people to understand things in layman's terms and be able to catch the information. So definitely wanted to make sure that it's a fun place for people to come back to for their information. So that's just my take on it. And even going to the next, looking at the segment, now that we're talking about cannabis science, that's what, this year for me, what I want to bring out on some of our shows is incorporating more education and science regarding cannabis, and one of the things I was looking at, a lot of us, we know that consuming cannabis, you get what they call the munchies. We always joke about that. I got the munchies, I'm gonna find something to eat. But there is a scientific reason behind that. And so that's what the part that I want people to understand is, okay, yeah, it does, but why? Okay. But then now when you begin to understand what it does, why it gives you the munchies, then you get an opportunity to see why it's so helpful when it comes down to, like, say, for instance, cancer patients who are on these medications and they can't eat, but they need to eat. So being able to get some cannabis in their system helps, increase their appetite to get them to eat. So there you have this, there's a purpose for this plant that can actually help. And that's the science part of it. But, bringing that out to people to help you understand why it does what it does, but also now at the same turn, while I'm telling you, are bringing in other experts that say what it does, why it does it, how it does it. It gives you the information that you need to also change your mind and become an advocate of this plant, because now you see how it can be helpful to anybody. And it's not just cancer patients. There are people out there who just have trouble eating, and they may have what they call a low weight. They're underweight or whatever because they just can't eat. Here we go. Instead of giving them some pharmaceutical to try to help them to eat that has a multiplicity of side effects, there's this plant, so there's a number of things that, like I said, I want to bring out and just on some upcoming shows to be able to bring that information in and help people who are still in that stigma zone to kind of come out of it, because you get a better understanding of what's going on with this plant. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, this year, and bringing that out on this platform, as well as the holistic platform that I have as well, bringing it out in both areas, being able to go a little bit more extensively, on the other one, but also still bringing that out here for our audiences here, so you get a taste of that as well. So that's where I'm headed with that this year. So yeah. But all right. So what about you, Arica? No, you're for the culture.
That's right. Y'all know me. I'm here for the culture.
Yeah.
I've been in this thing 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I've been in this thing a long time, and we're gonna talk about the lifestyle. We're gonna talk about let me read my lines. Hold on. Okay, we're explore, because it's written very nice, and I want to use this language, but I
she's gonna use her line.
So I'm gonna say I'm gonna be exploring the cultural aspects of cannabis, including lifestyle, art, and community. Okay, it's fantastic. Okay, we're gonna be sharing stories.
That's right.
And experiences related to cannabis cultures. So
for the culture.
That's what I'm doing it for. The voice.
Ooh, I'm so
the
looking
voice
forward to
for
that.
the voiceless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The voice of the people who ain't new to this but true to this. The people that have had to be in the closet because of XYZ. The people who have been locked up and had their family members locked up, and they still put money on books, and we're gonna talk about what those feelings are. Once y'all learn how to stay safe with and then you learn what the plan is gonna do to you with Angie, then y'all come holler at me, and we're gonna apply that knowledge, right? How it's best used to bring yourself psychologically, spiritually to your highest self. How the community aspects of cannabis, right? The artistic benefits, the cultural, the food, all of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing you all of that. So still working on my show. Okay, what I'm saying? Still working on my show. Y'all be patient. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You already know which one I like.
It's just,
which one I like. I ain't gonna say nothing else, but which one I like. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna keep it to myself.
I really am looking forward to this segment here. Really, I am. When we start talking about the cultural aspect of everything, because that's the one that I definitely want to learn more about myself. Growing up in that stigma area and not being able to be in the culture or see anything out there like that. I definitely wanted to do it. And not only that, when we're kind of thinking about how all of these tie in together, that's what I like about the segment that we have, how they're all tying it together. Because like you were talking about going into that science piece of it, and we're talking about the anxiety and everything. And you think about, there are people, and I honestly can say that I'm one of them. When I have used cannabis, okay, I'm more creative.
Mm-hmm.
It opens up that creativity for me, and I can think, and that's part of the culture, because when I'm able to use my creativity to design something, or to draw something, or I want to say my new toy, my AI that I'm loving, the AI art. Oh my gosh, I've gotten into the AI art. So just being able to sit there and think about what I want to tell my AI app, what I wanted to create. But my mind has to be open to that. And when you think about every day how you're going through work, and you struggling throughout your day because you have things that you have to do for your job. Then you get off work and then you relax a little bit, and then that creative mind opens up and you're able to do other things. You're able to distress from your day, and then you're able to enjoy. And that's where, that cultural part comes in. You're able to enjoy your life. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this season is going to unfold, and how we're going to be able to incorporate all this together. You about to say something, Eric? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
It's fine. I was just going to say, being creative, no matter how you're being creative, is a form of your highest self. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then I'm really excited about this season, ladies. I really am, about what we're going to be able to bring, to the table for our audience, and be able to share and just kind of bring this to a whole different level. They say every year we grow. And this year is not like any other year. We're growing even more in bringing out more in this cannabis space. And that's what I am loving about that. And even with that, there's some things that's going on, some things to do. We always want to bring you those things to do. What's going on in that cannabis space?
Hold on. Yeah, I got you. Oh, that's right. I was looking at the time. Yeah, we got to get ready and go. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. All right. I got to get back used to this thing again. Hold on. Here we go. Let's see what we got. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to take this first one right here. All right, I'm going to have to read this one. The hearing for a motion to reconsider the sentence to the Barbaries. I don't know how to say this name. Someone sent this to us today. I say Aviva. She's one of the advocates out there who's been down there to the Capitol fighting for cannabis and hemp and this different legislation. But she sent this information to me. Tomorrow, the hearing is set Monday, January 22nd at 10:45 a.m. And advocate reached out to me. So yeah, I'm reading now. I read it wrong. Okay. Let's come together for Kelly and Dan Babary. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. A simple, loving couple wrongfully facing a lifetime in prison over minor cannabis charges. They represent so many caught unjustly in our legal system. Their fight is ours too, for fairness, for compassion, for real justice. As they face their sentence reconsideration, your support can make the world a difference. Stand with us, stand with them. Thank you for caring and showing your support. So, if you care about freedom and justice, please join us to show Kelly and Dan we stand with them. All right. I just got that one down. Here we go.
Okay. All right. So this next event going on in Atlanta, we've all been, and it is amazing. It is Dining at Mary's ATL experience on January 27th. We will all be taking a ride on the elevated Costa Rican soul food infusion train. I tried to get it out. I'm so sorry. Eat the herb. So, menu is inspired by Jade, who everybody may know her as Eat the Herb. She does vegan infused food. She does amazing cakes, amazing apps, amazing meals. It's like phenomenal. So shout out to Jade and Eat the Herb. And so her and Dirty Lemonade will be coming together, and they will be putting together a menu inspired by Jade's travels to Costa Rica and the celebration of Black art. Come and see what the hype is all about. Like, seriously, it's amazing. So y'all definitely want to check it out. We're talking about culture. This is totally for the culture. It's a good vibe. The community comes out. It's amazing. So if y'all looking for a good time, an infused meal, definitely get your tickets for dinner at Mary's ATL. That's January 27th. Next going on, we have the Georgia Hemp Association will be meeting in the main rotunda at the state capitol here in Atlanta, February 5th, 2024 at 11 a.m. for a tour of the Capitol and important offices for advocacy. So there's a lot of different offices and when you go up to the Capitol. So Georgia Hemp Association is going to show you like what rooms you need to be in, specific for the events. I'm sorry, that's just driving me crazy. Specifically for the event, I'm sorry, let me just go back to reading, okay? I done tried to do my own thing and I done got messed up again. Okay, so Coach Harris, okay, so y'all know Coach. He is the founder of the Georgia Hemp Association and he will be hosting a lobby day. Georgia Medical Cannabis Society is currently speaking with the group to add on to support for medical cannabis advocacy along with the agricultural views. More details on this day to come. Make sure y'all are following GMCS on all platforms as well as Georgia Hemp Association, and reach out to get more information on the lobby day. GMCS may also consider adding an additional lobby day for amending the HB House Bill 324, which Yolanda spoke about earlier in the show, and adding inhalation and flower to the registry. Okay, so y'all make sure y'all keep following CannaShame Network, keep following GMCS, keep following Yo Rants to stay on top of all of the information, where we're going to be, and if we're going to move forward with that. The homie Life is putting together Hypnosis Purple Kush, presented by High End Music Partners in City to City. That event is going to happen February 17th, 2024. There are going to be more details to come, but for sure, follow Hemp Partners on Instagram for any updates. Shout out to Life. And finally, the second annual Atlanta Hemp World Festival has announced its return to the Westside Cultural Arts Center in Midtown, February 24th, 2024. Y'all shout out, holla at Pink Plains. This is her event, and so y'all make sure to follow her, reach out, shoot her a DM to get more information or to participate in the second annual Atlanta World Hemp Festival. So that's what we got going on, y'all. It's a lot going on. It's always a lot going on in these cannabis streets. And make sure that you stay tapped in with CannaShame Network so you can stay up to date of all the safe places to go.
Right. That's that intent.
And around the nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the intention. Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, ladies, we have come to the end of our first episode of season 4.
Did y'all realize it's 4 and 24? Did y'all realize that season 4 and 24?
Yes.
So we'll be like season 5 in 2025. I think that's super dope.
Oh, wow. That is so cool.
Mm-hmm. That is so dope. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Absolutely. Wow. That is so cool. See, it's meant. It was meant for us to do what we're doing. And I'm happy that we are, and we're continuing on this path and just continuing to grow. But I tell you what, ladies, we had an amazing time tonight just having this conversation, and I want our audience to stay tuned in with us, for more and more, because that's what we're here to do, to give you the cannabis news, the cannabis legislation, the cannabis education, and everything for the culture. So hang in with us. Definitely thank you for tuning in to the CannaShame podcast. Be sure to catch our next episode and keep an eye out for Tea and Holistic Conversations and Tea and Holistic Conversations After Dark. Definitely don't miss Yo Rant's Oversized Load this Wednesday at 7:10 with a special guest curator of the Second Hemp World Festival, Shalina Lucky Johnson. And we know her as, that's Pink Plains, right?
That's Pink Plains. I think I got her name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Okay. I just want to make sure that's got her name.
Okay, so yeah, that's Pink Plains.
I didn't mean to call out the government name, but I didn't know that. So my bad. I just went to the website.
That's Pink Plains. That's Pink Plains. And so that's on and on the 31st is going to be a special guest on the 31st show of Yo Rants with guest Christina, the Girl Plug. Yeah. So she's going to be on the next show. So Yo's got a couple of shows coming up here, ready to roll. Yeah. So also our next stream of the CannaShame podcast, probably will be with a special guest. Get tongue twisted here. So look out for us coming up on Sunday, February and I had the 18th on here, and I think that may be the wrong date on that. Actually, it's going to be the 25th. I'm sorry. So just want to make sure it is the 25th is our next show. So be on the lookout for that. And definitely stay tuned on the CannaShame Network on YouTube. Definitely look for us on all of the social media, Facebook, Instagram. We're out there, y'all. Go out there at CannaShame and find us. Stay tuned, follow us, definitely, so you can keep up with when we're having our shows, when we're having our events, and just all things cannabis. And also, too, we'll be having some drops of some things, some surprises coming up throughout the year, dropping some content, some information for you as we go along. So you definitely got to stay tuned in or tapped in with us. So just again, I want to thank everybody.
I ain't saying no. I ain't gonna tap on nothing right now. I ain't tapping on nothing.
I ain't shy. I tell people what's going on.
I ain't tapping in nothing. I ain't tapping. Hold on, let me tap on this window pane. How about that?
Oh my God.
There's only one Arica J.
Only one, the one and only Arica J. None other. Maybe, look, they say often imitated but never duplicated. Arica J.
I actually feel like doing that tick wave with that one right there.
Hey. Oh, that's definitely what somebody had mentioned to me, and that's my words that I would definitely leave everybody with tonight. No matter what you do, nobody can do it like you.
That's right.
That's it. That is it. You have your own speed, your own funk, your own flair to it. Nobody can do it like you. There's only you.
Let's hit it one time, Arica. It's bars.
Oh goodness, but y'all, we gonna tap on out of here tonight. Thank you again for coming, and again, make sure you look out for us on all the platforms. Good night, everybody, and just keep doing what y'all.
Oh, my screaming best friend. I gotta get it.
Oh, you gotta come close like that.
Okay, there we go. CannaShame.
All right.
There we go. There it is. Gotta get that right position.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you know what I learned this year right here?
It's my nails. It's because they're white. That's what's messing. They're like super light. That's what's messing it up.
I got
y'all know what we doing. We CannaShame.
We CannaShame. We CannaShame. Good night, everybody.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.